What's up, guys? It's your boy Z Tank, and today we'll be profiling a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. It's like Emperor of Shadow or something Monarchs. The Monarchs themed deck for Yu-Gi-Oh. So first, your two big monsters are. Let me focus this on. First, the Underworld Monarch, which is a level 8, I believe, Dark type, Dark Element Zombie Effect monster, which basically allows you to do, if you have one card in your field, you contribute this monster set of 2 by 1, but you have to send 2 cards to the graveyard. And then you can also, if you do shuffle 1 card from your opponent's hand at random or graveyard, and if you shuffle 1 card from your opponent's deck, hand, at random graveyard on the other side of the field into the deck once per turn during the player's main phase, this card is in your graveyard. You can discard 1 Monarch spell card, target 1 monster in your graveyard with 2,400 or more attack and 1,000 defense, and add it to your hand. Which is basically just like zombies play. Flip it, discard, go back. So another one is Ether, Heavenly Monarch, Light. It's a fairy type. It's basically the same thing as this, pretty much. But instead, if you do special summon 1 monster with 204 attack from your deck, you turn it to your hand during the end phase. During your opponent's main phase, if this card is in your hand, you can banish 1 Monarch spell card from your graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card. If this is a quick effect. And these 2 monsters are you want to get out the most. So let's go on to the actual Monarchs. So first is Talos, the Flame Monarch, with a level 6 monster with 204 attack and 1,000, which is going to be all of them. And basically, if you tribute summon this monster, you can discard 1 card from your opponent's hand and banish it. If it was a monster, card inflict damage to your original opponent's equal level times 100. So say you discarded a a Dark Magician, it would be 700 damage, it's level 7. Next is a Mobius, the Frost Monarch. This is really good because it can destroy spells. Once you tribute summon it, can destroy 2 spells or trap cards on the field and destroy those targets, which basically means if you're playing Odd Eyes, something like that, Magicians, Metalfoes, Ignites, or Didomas, they rely on Pendulum Summons, so you can just clap that down and destroy the pendulums. So first and next is Zerberg, like the Thunder Monarch. Same attack, same defense. This card is tribute summon, target 1 monster on the field and destroy. If it was a spell card or any card, it would be kind of overpowered, but it's still kind of pretty good because you can basically just plop this down and destroy anything in the field, but it's a monster, so basically you can get rid of a Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon and Xyz monster or Synchro monster that's giving you trouble. So then Gaia is one of those monsters basically saying, I'm not going to destroy your monster, but I'm going to put it back in the deck. So if this card is tribute summon, target 1 card in the field. Place that target on top of the deck, which basically if you have Odd Eyes, you can kind of not have it for deal with it for 1 turn, and then destroy it next turn, or game turn, destroy it next turn. Then is Gmurd, the Rock Monarch. If this card is tribute summon, target 1 set card in the field and destroy it, which basically can destroy a lot of traps, spell cards, set monster cards. Now here's probably one of the best one in here. Casey's the Shadow Monarch, Dark type, Fiend. When this monster should be summoned, target 1 card in the field, banish it, that target. If you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent if it was a Dark monster, which you can get rid of Odd Eyes, Dark Rebellion, Silver Claw, Dark Lords, or I can't remember what it's called, Dark Lords, I think. All that stuff, can get rid of it. Next are on to the Vassals, Firestorm. Basically, you can discard 1 card and special summon it. So them card from hand. Also, you can special summon monster from the X deck the rest of their turn. This card's tribute. For a tribute summon, you can look at the opponent's hand and banish 1 card from your hand until the end phase. And you can only do this once per turn, which kind of balances it. All these monsters have either 800 attack and 1,000 defense for the Vassals, and they have correspondence too. So this goes with Mobius the Frost Monarch, which basically allows you to spell summon if there's 2 or more spell or trap cards on the field. And you can spell summon this monster from your hand then. Let me just fix this. Mira is kind of interesting. It works like Yugioh from the Underworld Squad I'll show you in a minute. This card is in your hand. Let me kind of focus. Okay, it's not wanting to focus. There we go. This card is in your hand. Actually, you cannot spell summon monsters with extra, which all of them do, so you can't spell summon anything from the deck if you run this. And if you do, spell summon 1 vassal token, which is that, you're just about to summon, to your opponent's side of the field, defense position. This card is tribute for a tribute summon. You can activate this effect. You can tribute summon 1 monster to your main phase this turn in addition to a normally set this monster. Which is good because you can sit down 1, like in your Thunderboss when you have like an Esther in the field, and then tribute to summon one of these giant monsters right here. Next goes Land Drop, which goes with Gamurg, whatever his name is. Rock monster. This card in your hand, you target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. You cannot spell summon this monster from the extra deck in your turn, blah blah blah. Spell summon this card. If you do change the monster to face down defense position, this card's tribute for a special summon, for a tribute summon, you can add one monster from the graveyard. It has 800 attack and 1000 defense, which you get back all the vassals and 2 other monsters I'm going to show you. Garen basically does the same thing as Riza, whatever his name is. This basically just returns it to the hand when tribute summon, and also can add one vassal from the deck to your hand. Okay, Lucius, the Shadow Vassal, kind of interesting, level 1. You can banish 1 level 5 or higher monster from the graveyard, which will be your the Monarchs, the 2 big Monarchs, or the other Monarchs. Also, you cannot spell summon monsters from the extra deck. This card's tribute summon. You can look at all the set cards your opponent controls. Your opponent cannot activate your cards for summon. If that's activation. So you can basically destroy anything you have on your opponent's field. So say you have this in play, you special summon it by banishing a Cassius. You play it, it gets rid of effects like cards that don't allow you to summon monsters, that don't allow you to do other stuff like special summon, no, not special summon, tribute summon, and they keep you all on level 1s through 4s and all that crap. So next is the Dina. It's a foil. So this is one of the main monsters in your deck. This card is normal, special summon 1 monster with 800 attack, 1000 defense. From deck, you can have at least 4 other, or you cannot spell summon monsters from the extra deck, blah blah blah. Also, for the rest of the turn, this card is sent to the graveyard. For the rest of the turn, this card is sent to the graveyard. You can target 1 of your banished Monarch style cards from your hand. You can only activate each of them. So which lets you come back and if anything's banished, you can get it back with a Dina. Now, Yugioh, you want to get out with a Dina. So it lets you, when you normal or special summon it, it allows you to also tribute summon. And also, this is in your graveyard. You can target 1 monster with 800 and 1000 deck in your graveyard, except Yugioh. You can special summon it in defense position. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra for the rest of the turn. You can only play this effect once, which is good. So there are the Monarchs, and one other card which is kind of like attacking the deck. You don't have any cards to play against your only monster, which allows you to tribute summon this monster. Not tribute summon at all, special summon. And for each card in your hand, it gains 600 attack and 600 defense, and you get a direct attack from monsters. Someone's trying to direct attack you. Once per turn, and then it's effect. Once per turn, you can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard. Target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls with the same level sent monster had in the hand. Take control of the face-up monster. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster in the graveyard. This card levels become the same as that target until the end of the turn. So basically, this monster can also work in Xyz decks, but I wouldn't play it. It's still a good card, but I wouldn't play it. I would just play it in like its own deck. But it's still a good card to play. Illusionary Snatcher. This monster works with any of your monsters. Anything tribute summon, this card becomes the same attribute, which is like dark, all that crap. So what you want to do is have this in hand using Return of the Monarchs. spell card. And then when you tribute summon one of the Monarchs, you can play this and have an extra monster. But any effects from the tribute monsters do not apply to this. But if it's a dark type, and then if it affects a certain element monster, like this is a dark, it affects, if anything affects a dark type, this would be affected. Mathematician. Mathematician is a tech card in this deck, in this theme deck. It basically allows you to discard one card from your deck that's one level 4 or lower monster to the graveyard, and then when it's stored, you draw one. Dandelion is when you want to get monsters out to play these. So basically when it's destroyed, it plays 2 plant tokens which you can use to tribute summon. Rainbow Karibo, basically destroy it or from your hand equip. When it's from the hand, you can equip it to a monster and it allows you to not let it attack. If it's from the graveyard, you can banish it and prevent attack. Level Eater eats any send to the graveyard and target one level 5 or higher monster and then reduce its level and then special summon in defense, special summon anything. Battle Fader, it's in your hand, you can block any attack. Block one attack. Okay, Pantheism basically just allows you to send one Monarch spell card to the graveyard and then draw 2. It lets you search for a spell card if you have 20 or 1,000 defense and so any of the Monarch cards. Turn the Monarch allows you to search for any monster card with either 2,400 attack or 1,000 defense, or 2,800 attack and 1,000 defense. Much of the Monarchs just basically so gets rid of any target effects. Strike of the Monarchs basically just nullifies anything, and you have to tribute one tribute summon the monster, but you get draw one. Monarch Stormfront is a card that you always, like a lot of tribute summon decks play. Basically, instead of you tribute summoning with your monsters, you tribute summon with their monsters. Domain of the True Monarchs allows you, so it's a field spell, so if you have it on the field, any monster in one of these, basically reduced by 2 levels, and no monster from the extra deck can be special summon on your opponent's side of the field. Soul Exchange, just use one of your opponent's monsters to tribute special charge. For each monster in your graveyard, at any time you can pay 1,000 life points for each monster special summoned by this effect. You cannot conduct your battle phase with this card active. You can only play one after Soul Charge, so you can get back these 2 monsters, but they don't have a tribute on their effect. Enemy Controller is one of my favorite cards. You can by tribute target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change that to defense position, or tribute one of your monsters take control of your opponent's monster. Dice Foon, if you roll one of these numbers, you get these various effects. Destroy one spell card or trap card on the field. Destroy 2 spell cards or trap cards in the field, or 1 or 6, you take 1,000 damage respectively. Prime Monarch gets back to your spell cards, and then lets you draw 1. First Monarch is the defense card, and they both allow you to summon these at some point and act like monsters. Monarchs Awaken and Monarchs Erupt just nullifies anything the monster has, but allows you not to be affected by other cards. Monarchs Erupt can negate any effects of any monsters, which is good. But you have to discard it if you have no in the field. No tribute summon monster. Escalation of the Monarchs is good because if you play one turn, if you don't have any other monsters, you can summon this, which allows you to do it during the battle phase. So by order of the Emperor, so you can basically negate any effect on your opponent's field and draw 1 card. Pinpoint card just allows you to get back any Dandelion, Mathematician, any level 4 or lower monster, but it cannot be destroyed in that battle phase. So that's good. And just a token card, so you can do all this. So you can tribute someone for free with this. So that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Now,